name's Kiahonfire and welcome to a video on SoulMask. SoulMask is a game that caught my attention earlier this year and it ended up being really quite addicting. Once you kind of got the hang of things and started to understand the game, then it just gets better and better. There is more to explore and there is a lot to this game I found than I thought there would be, considering when I played it was a demo. I was literally just expecting the starting area to be the main meat and vegetables of this game, but it really wasn't. There was so much more to it, and so much more in fact that I ended up shredding 74 hours into a demo, which is absolute madness considering. So what is there to this game? Why did I enjoy it so much? And yeah, what is it all about? It has that old school kind of charm, being rough and ready, but at the same time there's a lot of things that make up for that rough and readiness once you get your teeth fully into the game. However, what I will say with SoulMask is it's ideally played in a group, because a lot of the times when I was playing SoulMask, it was really for group play. I mean, doing some of the bosses was really difficult on your own, and having that extra person to put a campfire to respawn at, or just having them there to lure the creatures to, is really helpful. But we found the ideal number of this game when it came to how many people you need would definitely be a minimum of 3. That is the most ideal way to play this game. So you definitely want friends for this one. I will definitely say that is something to bear in mind if you do ever decide to enter the game of SoulMask, and right now it's actually out on nextfest, Steam nextfest, and hopefully will be out throughout the year of 24, but we will see how it goes. And I hope that this game keeps improving and getting better and better. It reminds me a lot of the early days of Conan Exiles, so I can't wait to see what these guys do. They've been amazing so far, and I'm looking really forward to the rest of what's happening with this. One of the super interesting features of this game, which I really love and I wish more games did if I'm honest with you guys, is the scout system. So when you first start the game, you're given just like a tiny little bit of greenery, and then you're like exploring around the area, but when you get close to the borders, you'll eventually see little markers on the outside that are called scouts. If you go to these scout camps and you end up taking the scout down to a point that they have a very low amount of health, and then you can kind of initiate them, you can kind of suck their brain out with, well, not suck their brain out, you know, read their mind with your magical mask powers. And doing this will like unlock a big section of the map for you, and you do this basically to just unlock the map, get rid of the fog of war and all that stuff. And I really like this feature, having to go out and find the scouts to unlock more map and so on. It's extremely intriguing. And not only that, if you travel around enough, you'll end up coming across fast travel towers as well, which are really needed in this game because the map is absolutely humongous. It is a huge map. There are so many areas to explore, so many points of interest all over the place. It's just a massive game, so you definitely need these fast travel towers, and there's a few you can find around the map. We definitely made very good use of them when we played, because it would have taken a very long time to run around without them. And speaking of running around, that is not what you're restricted to in this game. You can actually tame mounts and creatures in the world of SoulMask, which is something that surprised me when coming into the game before any of the trailers were out. And they have really intriguing taming methods. I'm not gonna lie, I thought a few of the things we could do were really quite cool, especially when it came to taming my own jaguar pet. The first mount you'll probably start out with though is the alpaca, and usually you can just steal this from like camps you find around the map. And usually there will be like a little animal barn and it's full of baby alpacas, or you can find them out in the highlands and they're walking around with their parents, who will spit at you if you try and steal the baby, which is really quite funny because there's a whole animation thing for your screen when this actually happens. The next leg up from that is the llama, which you would need to trap in a little cage to be able to get the baby away from its parents, and then you can bring it home and feed it and it will be yours to ride. And the nice thing about this thing is you can make a saddle extension to put NPCs on the back of the llama, which, yes, NPCs are also friends in this game, which you can kind of do mind control on and take over. And we'll talk about that in a minute because the NPC system is absolutely humongous and there is a lot to it, and I mean a lot. They then have the Jaguar, which has a really interesting system which I have not seen before in a game, but pretty much you have to follow the mummy Jaguar home when she's taking like a turkey back to her baby cub, which is hidden. And then as soon as you see where the baby Jaguar is hidden, it could be quite like a walk away. Then you need to go and follow it around and hopefully catch it in like a little cage or something so you can take it home. And there was this another mount we saw, but the snow area wasn't unlocked yet, and it was a snow leopard. And we were like, oh, we really want that. That sounds awesome. Now, there's not only mounts in the game as well, there's also shoulder and ground pets. The parrot is really quite intriguing. You can have this on your shoulder. It does have a few bugs with it at the moment, but it can speak to you. It can insult you as well. But one of the coolest things is it's like a little alert companion. It's really helpful for PvP. And just like alerting you to certain situations if like a mob has angered onto you or something like that. And then you have the monkey, which can collect fruit and stuff and go around foraging, which is a really cool feature. And you can also domesticate turkeys and capybara for their meat and eggs and whatever else you want, which is really cool. I love this feature. So you could do a lot with the taming and stuff like that, and it's highly worth looking into, especially when it comes to mounts, because you're really going to want mounts to go around the world. Earlier we were talking about an NPC system, and yes, it's really in depth with this one, as they come with skill tree abilities, and you can literally turn into your own NPCs once you've locked the ability to do so, which you can usually do by doing bosses. So basically when you tame NPCs, they have a whole host of different things with them. They come in different qualities, from white to green to blue to purple to yellow to red. Red being really good, yellow being really good, you know, the traditional kind of tier tree you get with that one. They also come with a host of different perks that make them good at certain crafting. As in SoulMask, you can make NPCs work tables for you and craft things for you and even garden for you. They can do everything pretty much. They even fight for you and can follow you around and all sorts. But the perks they have is the most important part of this, because depending on what they roll with is depending on if they're going to be any good at fighting or if they're really good at woodcutting or something like that, you know. They all have certain specialities, so it's worth hunting through the different NPCs in SoulMask to find ones that are really worthwhile and really good at certain things you need them for. For instance, when we wanted NPCs to come and fight with us, we pretty much were looking out for like healing faster perks or being able to take more damage type perks. There was a lot there with them. And then to go off that even more, which is even more in depth, each of the perks have levels as well. They can be level 1 to 3, 3 being better, 1 being stinkier. It's a lot, okay? There is a lot to learn about this game. It has a lot of features. What I like to say about this game is it's the jack of all trades, but it's the master of none. So, like, it has a lot in it. You could do a lot with this game. It has a lot of features that people really like, but it's not always, like, the best because, like, some of it's quite janky. But that could be ironed out further later in the game, as it's really early on right now, as we are only playing the demo and stuff like that, so I imagine there's some time to kind of brush up upon a lot of these things. There's also a whole thing with gardening in this game. It's a really in-depth system as well. There are plenty of plants, and all these plants do different things, such as making healing potions, to making better food for yourselves, to making food for your animals and pets, which you will need to feed. You can make an NPC fully automate your garden as well, which is really nice. They can apply the fertilizer and do things like that and harvest the crops for you, which is 100% worthwhile doing. And you can get plenty of garden land in your plot and all sorts like that. So that's a really nice feature I really like about the game and that whole thing. You can grow anything you like, and it goes really in depth. You even need like pesticides and stuff like that for your garden. So yeah, we're talking like quite extreme gardening here. We're getting really into it, you know, here. So there's a lot to do with that. There's a lot you could do at home base as well. I just love the fact that you can assign NPCs to do these jobs as well to help you out. And then as you go through the tech tree, you can unlock things that help you more and more out with this thing, like getting a granary, which could hold all your crops and stuff and it has a huge inventory. It's really, really in-depth. But I'd definitely say SoulMask is a worthwhile look into. There is a lot to this game that what meets the eye, but definitely play it in a group. I think that's how you're going to get the most out of this game, and definitely kind of play it like you're playing Conan, because it's a lot like that. There is a lot to discover that is not known out there and to figure out. It's a nice fresh little experience. As long as you don't mind a bit of jank, then go give it a go, because honestly, I had such a good time with my friends in this game. We've made like so many memes about it, and I just highly recommend it. I really enjoyed myself. But either way, thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.